Eccoci.
Eccoci.
Eccoci, però non riesco a farti entrare, non so perché.
Adesso ci mette un attimo, solo per consenti, perché non gliel'avevo ancora mai consentito su questo telefono.
Buongiorno. Aspettate che metto muto. Mettiamo muto il computer. Aspettate, evitiamo di... Ole. No, il computer non è muto, non vuole mutizzarsi.
Il mio si è mutizzato.
Aspettate. Ah, non funziona. Aspettate. Oh. Però sento comunque questo fischio, non so se lo sentite. Ok, adesso non va più.
No.
Perché continuo a sentire l'audio?
Non so.
Sento di qua e di là. Stranamente. Allora, facciamo così. Scusate, oggi abbiamo una diretta molto molto succulenta, evidentemente talmente succulenta che il computer si è impallato. Ok, parleremo di essere una donna orgasmica. Ah no, it's in English, sorry, I forgot.
English today. We have some technical
Yes. Hello everyone. Hi everyone. So I'm trying to mute my computer, but it doesn't want to. Okay, so I'm gonna hold this way. Yeah. You should hear me now, both on Instagram and on Facebook, right? Facebook and YouTube. Hello, everyone. We are here today for a beautiful, juicy, super juicy live with, oh my goodness, Laura Barchi, who is a gynecologist and an Ayurvedic doctor, and she trained with me. Sorry.
Let's try.
Okay, let's try again. Okay, now it's good. Very good. She trained with me as a sex coach. And she's also training with me as a menstrual coach and a priestess of Aphrodite and sacred sexuality. So it's going to be something very, very interesting because I find it fascinating to see how a person, a woman in the scientific and medical field managed wonderfully to put together the sacred path, the sacred sexuality path, and a different way of healing together with her everyday life and everyday job as a doctor. As I said, Laura is a gynecologist and an Ayurvedic doctor, so she's also specialized in Ayurvedic. So Laura, thank you for being with us today. You have such a rich and inspiring background as a gynecologist and Ayurvedic doctor. Can you share with us what your relationship with sexuality was like before joining sex coach training?
Okay, thank you for inviting me today. And before joining, I had two periods in my life. Before having my child and after. Before having my child, I had a very good relationship with my body and my sexuality, or I believed so. Because I was very, very concerned about performance. I was concerned about how it made feel my partner before my own pleasure. Then I had my child, And sexuality became something I preferred not to do because of the hormonal changes during lactation, but also because I was taking a pill with progesterone that lowers the libido. I had also some stitches on my yoni during my delivery. So it was sometimes painful during penetration. And also I felt dryness and my libido was at a minimum point before. I didn't recognize myself. I used to like having intercourses, but then I just couldn't. I just couldn't. It was terrible. It was just another task I had to do in my life, as doing the laundry or cooking. And it wasn't like that before having a child. So I was starting thinking, maybe all those yogis are right. Sex is not that important. It's just a waste of energy and time.
So yeah, the tendency is to think that at a certain point, sex is no longer something that can be part of your life and even of your daily life, while it is, because it's the greatest force that inhabits our human bodies, and it's the fuel actually for everything we do in life. And said like what you said sounds like, oh yeah, I couldn't enjoy sex anymore. So it could make women listening today believe that after having a child, after getting married, after becoming more and more adult, which we do in life, and going on a spiritual path of evolution, sex becomes less important or has to become less important. On the contrary, sex is the way more important as we proceed on a spiritual path, and also as we become mothers, because we need more energy, and sex can, when it's not good, can take energy away from us. In fact, the majority of women that come to sex coach training, they say, I feel so tired after sex and I tend to avoid sex because it tires me. It's so such a fatigue, so tiring. But the good sex, doing sacred sexuality, practicing sexuality the way we do in sex coach training, actually charges us up, and we learn how to master our sexual energy in order to fuel all the fields of our lives. And this way we understand, we understand that our children are way happier because they have a happy, energetic mother. And we come to realize that good sex is the epicenter, the bed is the epicenter of a happy family. And I would also like to ask you, what was the pivotal moment when you thought, yes, this is the path I want to take? What drew you to this field, and how did your medical and spiritual paths, as you're a doctor, how did this came together to lead you here to train as a sex coach with me and dive into the sacred and transformative aspects of sexuality?
Okay, in the beginning, you mentioned I'm a doctor and an Ayurvedic doctor, and there's also something more about me I'd like to share. I'm also a weekend priestess. So I was, after giving birth to my child, I had sort of a spiritual crisis because I needed a community. I needed a better connection with my goddess, which is Isis. And she said I had to incorporate again the archetype of Aphrodite, because it was like a big no for me, this goddess, because I was trained by the patriarchal society not to indulge in the Aphrodite archetype if I wanted to be taken seriously. I'm a professional, I'm a wise woman, a very intelligent type. So mixing myself with that kind of energy, or what they sold me as that energy, was not unthinkable. It was unthinkable. But my goddess, during a technique that we do in the Wicca, in progressive witchcraft, that is trans prophecy, during this technique, told me you have to look for Aphrodite and bring her into your life. But at that time, when this message came to me, I didn't have the economical basis and also the time to join the priestess path. So I asked if I could do something that I could manage with my time. With my child was barely 1 year old at the time, so it was very intense. And Maya invited me to join a sex coach training, and I felt that it was just a good thing for me, because as a gynecologist, I have to deal with sexual issues. So I was a bit skeptic about all the crystal thing, because I used to think the crystals were just objects that you could inform with energy. And so they didn't have a real personality or real powers. They weren't different. It was just the intent that you put in them. So I was a bit skeptic, but I'm a skeptic, but not, I could say, I don't close doors. I always try. So I tried. And the real pivotal point was when my period, I didn't have my period for a year and a half after delivery. And with just 1 month of using the uni egg inside, I had back my period regular on a black moon. So it was a beautiful experience.
I remember that. I remember that you were a new mom, and your son was so young. Sometimes you picked up into the lives, and it was amazing, because I thought, when I created sex coach training, I put all my teachings, all my studies, my researches, my experience as a priestess of Aphrodite and secret sexuality, and as a sex coach, but also my experience as a mother and a worker. So I said, this is a training for women who want to work with sexuality, to improve their sexual and love and relationship lives, and also for women who want to be empowered, who want to be independent from their husbands, who want to shine and have their own income, not just to survive, but to thrive. Because I know that the gender equality has to pass through a sexual revolution from the inner knowledge and reclaiming of pleasure of our being a woman, from every woman. So we have to reclaim our pleasure in bed and out of bed. So the pleasure to be, to shine into what we like, helping maybe other women and inspiring other women. And it passes through also being economically independent and to have the financial power to realize our desires without having to ask for permission to any man and to anybody. So it was thought for women who have little time, actually, but it has to be excellent, powerful, and thought for women who have little slots of time because they are mothers or mothers of newly born babies, or they already have their job, their muggle muggle job. So yeah, it is thought to answer this need of women. And it was amazing to have you as an example of a mother and a hard worker also, because you love your job and you work a lot as a gynecologist, and also you totally delving into sex coach training. So you're an excellent example of this, and I'm happy to know that the pivotal moment was when the goddess in the form of Isis and then Aphrodite told you, yeah, you got to do this. And also to dismantle these ideas that having to do with beauty, with sexuality, with elegance, and with all the things that are instead of Aphrodite is something fluffy, because actually it's the fuel of everything. And you're getting to know also Aphrodite better as a priestess of Aphrodite in training, of course. I have another question for you. You've now been on this journey with me for some time. I would like to ask you, what changes have you experienced in your awareness of your body, of your feminine power, and your understanding of sexuality as both a personal and a universal force?
My relationship with my body and my sexuality have undergone a big revolution. I feel more in my power. I feel my power inside me. It was something I experienced when I was younger and freer, maybe. That I had something inside me that triggered with sexual force, and I put it in the back of my brain. I left it aside, and now I'm not also diving into it, but finding every day. It's a journey. It's a long journey, finding every day those hidden treasure under those habits of sacred sexuality. My energy improved very, very much. I started to value small pleasures. One of the best parts of the training is that valuing these small poses of pleasure. The best part is that it's very, very practical, this path, and valuing small pieces of pleasure. You don't have to plan for a wonderful intercourse, so you can do this, but you don't have to wait for it. You don't have to manage. You just now, in staying in my presence and feeling my yoni, I can have wonderful ecstatic experiences, even eating a piece of chocolate. And it's wonderful because your awareness expands. So it was a very, very, very empowering journey, and also made my health go better and survive everyday stress and tasks.
And I'm interested to know also on your personal professional life, how this having more energy practically helped you, this awakening of your sexual energy and mastering it, how it impacted positively your being a doctor and a professional, especially a helping professional.
It helped me a lot because I can relate better with my patients, and helped me also to sometimes deal with the overwhelming of seeing so many suffering people. We have during the course, there are so many techniques to deal with stress and eradicate into pleasure, so you can recharge, and it's invaluable.
You're saying something so precious for all women, because we are asked so much from society, from our families, and it's taken for granted. We just have to do that, but it's not. It's not, because we are not endless sources of energy, and this is not a training to help you doing more, but also to set boundaries. Okay. And at the same time, when you have to do lots of things, and sometimes you have to do, it's important to know how to fuel without feeling exhausted, without feeling depleted. So it's an important thing also to have your energy so strong and so vital and so vibrant, and this fire of love and sexuality is so nourished and plumbed, that when we carry on a helping profession, and we all women do, because we are mothers, we maybe take care of the house, of our old parents, of other people, and maybe some of you listening are already in a helping profession. So maybe you are coaches, you are yoga teachers, doulas, gynecologists, psychologists, belly dancers, therapists of any kind. It's important that you not only work on the protection of your energy, but on fueling continuously your energy through what Laura said and experienced. So yeah, I think it's important both in a personal life and in your professional life, because we cannot really separate, right, the personal life and the professional life, because we can try. We don't work on compartments. When we work, when we are out and we act and play out in life, we are there with all our beings. We involve all of ourselves, even in our jobs. I have another question for you. Every student, I noticed that every student who goes or applies and joins sex coach training has those aha moments during the program. So what were the most powerful insights and breakthroughs you had during the training?
The first one was the one that I mentioned before, that period came back. And also that I could experience that crystals are different. So I could also start, when we do the practice with other women, start to prescribe them using not also the manual of crystal therapy, but also the logic of Ayurveda, logic that I possessed. That was wonderful to merge these two words to help each other better. The other part was that I felt more energetic, and that made me think that men used to fear, not men, but patriarchal society used to fear the women orgasms because after sex the man felt depleted and the woman felt recharged. So maybe they are vampires, they are witches, they drain us. This was my my realization. So
Yeah. Also, it's true that also some women feel depleted, so they could think the same. The problem is that the majority of people don't know how to make love in a way that it's recharging you. I talked many times inside of the training and also here on the lives about the 4 levels of orgasm. So you can go back to the other lives and know more about that, or you can join the training if you want to know more levels of orgasm. The first one is the one in which we just have this strong sensation, electric, and poof, explosion of energy that goes outside, while the other kinds train you to take the energy, not of the other person, but the energy you're generating together. Each one of the lovers can learn how to take the energy of the orgasm back into the body for healing. You healed your cycle. Many other women told me they had their cycles back after years. So it can be really, really healing and transformative. I saw women like Noemi, for example, that you will know. She opened her studio as a sex coach and a priestess. And there are women who wrote their books finally after years of postponing it. It's an energy that gives you energy. Okay. So the difference is learning how to make love with a different quality, totally different quality from what patriarchy asks us, oriented to performance and to go towards the orgasm without experiencing the staying in the pleasure. Because it's if we run towards the orgasm, we don't allow ourselves to enjoy the pleasure longer. So it's something, oh, let's finish it immediately. So no, you can indulge in it and make it, transform it into an art. So this is a little bit more personal. I wanted to ask, since since completing the sex coach training, how have you noticed the changes in your personal relationship with your partner, your relationships with other people also? So it's more focused on relationship, which is a keyword in the training. Laura knows why. And also the relationship with your body, your sensuality, your self-confidence, and your relationship with your role as a doctor and as a woman.
So starting with the relationship with my partner, that is maybe the more the first that comes to mind when we speak about sex, but it shouldn't be. The first relationship should be with yourself when you think about sex, but I will mention it later. I felt that communication improved. We were a beautiful couple ever since. We used to speak a lot, share a lot, but then there was something more subtle that was like a barrier between us. Some parts were his, some parts were mine. My side was this thing of the performance. I had past relationships with very, very controlling men. So they were controlling even the ritual of having the intercourse. So it was very, very hard for me not to think it was just a role I had to play. So I couldn't relax in it. And this translated into an energetic barrier between me and my partner. And since I started this path, this barrier slowly faded. We are still working on something, because you can improve and you can merge with another person all of a sudden. It's also unhealthy. You can get mad. So it's still going on, this process, but it was very, very important thing to also to be more confident when I proposed myself to him, and when I wanted to try something new, proposing something new. So he was not so interested in sex, but then he started asking me questions. He's not a man that is as the the fixed thought, but he started asking me and being curious about what I did, what these crystal eggs were. And so it started a path of discovery in the couple. The second relationship that came into being is with my child. I started to feel the energy with him, and also our orgasmic bond when I was lactating. And I felt more relaxed and capable of responding to his small crisis and more difficult moments. Because I started really feeling him from inside.
Yeah, because it's amazing that when you connect with your sexual energy, of course, we connect with your body and with your intuition and your being an animal, because we are animals also. So it's something that requires us to gather together all the parts of ourselves, also the mammal, our being mammals, and being really connected through the body wisdom, through the breasts wisdom. We work a lot on the breasts in sex coach training, so it was so beneficial in lactation. Also the practices, also for me, I breastfeeded as a mom for 7 years between the two kids, between one and the other. So it's something that impacts every area of life, not just the sexual life or our love relationships, but everything, because we become more vibrant, more intuitive, even in our being mothers, in our jobs, in relationships with friends, with anybody. We learn to be not only outside as extroverted as society always asks us to be out to take care of the outside, but to mingle and to do this movement from within to without, inside and outside, continuously, like weaving. It's exactly like weaving, going in and going out, going in and going out. Because if we focus only outside, we're going to lose something, ourselves. If we focus only inside, we're going to lose the awareness that we are not isolated. And it's beautiful how this training and the work with crystals, of course, as you said, with your husband, they are included into the couple, because it's not just, of course, it's not just using the crystals that make the magic happen. It's the method and it's the path, because the crystals themselves, they're not almighty, but together with them, they can become our allies through a method, through knowing how to relate, not to use them, but to relate to these creatures. And they change, as you said, according to the type of crystal. They all have a character, they all have a quality and a specific energy. Even the same crystal, if we take an amethyst, all the amethysts are different because they absorb the different energies. They were born in different places. They've seen and absorbed different energy from the surroundings. They're the most ancient creatures of the planet. And also the geometry in which they are shaped changes. We use yoni eggs, yoni wands for the yoni massage, yoni the armoring, and anal wands also. And it's beautiful to include them in the couple because they can amplify the experience and we can become more receptive. Yeah. We're getting towards the end of this beautiful interview. So rich and nourishing, Laura. I think this is going to be so beneficial for other women stay listening, and also some men, I hope. We're nearing the end of 2024. This is a powerful time for setting intentions for the coming year. There are many women out there who feel the call to step into their feminine power and to reclaim their sexuality and make a difference in their own lives and maybe also in the lives of other women. What would you say to these women? What would you want to share with someone who is hesitating to take this first step?
I want to underline this as all the things concerning self-discovery in the field of pleasure, that this is a path of empowerment. It's not just a path just to learn how to have better sex and to be the super fantastic lover. Yes. It is just a part of it, but is a path of empowerment. It helps you to be yourself, to re-embody yourself, to listen better to yourself. So you have to, I like you to take this chance to discover parts of yourself, inside yourself, through sexual energy. That is the most powerful thing. It's vital force. It's not us that say so. It's psychology also. Psychology and many traditions all over the world, ancient traditions that say that sex is a primal force in life. So if you want to empower yourself, you have to address this force, and you have to address it with an open heart. Yoni and heart, you will discover, are connected. You will have to find, and then you will find your voice, as also your throat and yoni are connected. And through your voice, as it said in one of the interpretation of the word abracadabra, with your voice you can create your reality, set your boundaries. And in ancient Egyptian, there's also mention of the voice. They say the person and the gods are true of voice. It means you can speak your truth, really speak your truth, a truth that modifies your entire environment. And this truth, where does this truth come from? It comes from the heart, but also your yoni. It comes from there.
Yeah. I think I'm really proud of you, Laura. It's not a mystery. So very proud of you. You're a brilliant student, and it's such a pleasure to guide you, to continue guiding you through also the Aphrodite Priestess training and the Menstrual Coach training. Hope it was, I think it was, otherwise you wouldn't apply. Also for you, a pleasure to have me as your teacher and mentor. I would like also to invite people, if they look for a different kind of gynecologist, where they can find you.
Okay, you can find me on Facebook. I'm doing a rebranding to implement my Ayurvedic practice. So we are a bit under construction, but you can find me on also on the page which I share with my husband, that is a therapist, Ayurvedic therapist, that is Pashupati Ayurveda. You can find it. I will, if you look for me on the Facebook, you will find also the link to the to the site. And I hope to open also a studio for gynecology, holistic gynecology, in which I can merge, but it's for the next year. It's something I'm really looking forward to, and I'm working for it.
Maybe so.
Maybe.
So mote it be. So thank you so much, Laura. Thank you for sharing this incredible journey and insights with us. Thank you for all of you who've been here today. I'm sure you will start this day with a completely different Aphrodite, sensuous energy charged up by Laura's wisdom and the energy that she brought into today's life. And she's a great example. She's one of my most brilliant students. And she's a great example of how we can manifest our dreams and follow the path of our life purpose, the path of our soul, without betraying our soul. Laura managed to be a doctor, a gynecologist, an Ayurvedic doctor, while being a mother, while being in a relationship with her partner, and being co-parenting with her partner, because it's not just on her, but she created the condition to have a man at her side who co-parents with her and is a co-partner in everything, in the dealing with the house, in dealing with everything. So she's an example of an empowered woman who also managed to take sex coach training. She's taking menstrual coach training with me, Priestess of Aphrodite and sacred sexuality training with me. So it's possible. It's possible. She's an amazing example of that. And for everyone watching, thank you again for being here. If you feel called to embark on this transformative journey, the early bird offer of the sex coach training is available for a few days. So it's going to end soon. And if you want to really make a change in your life and do this jump into the new year with a completely new and different energy. This is the moment. This is the moment, because the new year always brings strong energy, strong emotions, and this is the time when magic can happen, but you have to make it happen. So I left the link to know more about sex coach training in the chat for those who are listening from YouTube and Facebook. If you are on Instagram, you can go on the link in my bio, and there is the link to sex coach training, where you can read also the other feedbacks of other amazing women who joined in, and you can apply from there. And you can also, of course, book a free orientation call with me if you want to know more and be super sure this is your path. This is your moment to step into your power and create a life as a woman in a couple, in a love relationship, and a career that aligns with your deepest purpose. So thank you again to Laura. Thanks to everyone. Let's transform the world together, one empowered, orgasmic woman at a time. Have a good day.
Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.